Hello everyone, this is the Dennis Facade Montage channel. And today I'm going to show you another house that we built in the Istra district using mid-down Canadian siding. We also insulated it with 100 millimeters. The house is made of timber, this kind of timber. It's 150 by 200 and it developed these kinds of gaps over time. So think carefully. Before building wooden houses here, we had already installed vertical beams. The walls are very uneven. We will insulate the house with 2 layers of 100 millimeters each. First, there's a vertical beam, then a horizontal one. We start insulating, we do it thoroughly, and we handle the insulation material very carefully. We'll secure the insulation with this 120 mm long 4.8 Momenistic self-tapping screw. And this is a washer. This is a little washer to press our insulation down. Some people do it without this kind of fastener, but I recommend that you definitely secure the insulation. You never know what might happen to your membrane film, but the insulation will always stay in place for its entire lifetime. Reliability and quality come first. The wall has already been insulated in 2 layers. Everything looks unbearably beautiful. Here we have a little flaw that came up. Our ceiling turns out to be slanted, meaning it's not level. We've leveled the first beams, but the others are lower. The beams that are attached on the side near the house have dropped, and here on the post they're hanging. Is that right? So there should be adjustment bolts on the posts here, logically, so that you can adjust the veranda every year. Lower it, adjust it, something like that. The client gave us the task to fix any additional work. If there are any minor issues anywhere, he said he would pay for all the extra work, of course. Now we've already set the outermost ones to the level. We're stretching the cord. We'll align all the beams along the cord. Now we'll also unscrew all the beams, raise them a bit higher so the cord doesn't catch, and we'll adjust them. Where the screws don't come out, we break them off. This way we're raising our beams with a bit of extra height. Now we'll stretch our cord and then lower them according to the cord. We've secured some beams, but up here the rafter is just in some places not screwed in. We've leveled all the beams. Here we've already installed the membrane. It's not a film, it's a membrane. It's just that Everyone is used to calling membranes films. There will be vapor barrier. Also a plinth will be made here. The panels here will be non-standard. One panel will be 600 millimeters high and will go on the plinth. We will also remove the shingles on the veranda later so that we can set up scaffolding there. We've already installed the wooden bar on the first insulation layer. We just connected the boards, everything is on the gable. We also cut holes there. Stylish exhaust vents will be installed there. We're starting to install facade panels on the plinth. We specifically chose these panels. These panels are 590 meters tall. So let's check with the tape measure. They're called Scottish Glasgow. Why are these panels suitable specifically for this base? Because here we have a steep slope of the ground. That is, the layout on this plot isn't very good. Well, although on the other hand, some people like this kind of layout because the water drains to one side and doesn't stay in place. We specifically extended the battens all the way down so that we would have a solid profile. That means there will be rigidity, no break in the plinth, none of that will happen. But the battens are here. We took into account the main one, the subsiding, since all our finishing will be mainly from regular siding. That's why in our case we add these horizontal crossbars here and vertical ones for these mounts. On the pile, we welded in horizontal embedded parts, also attached a vertical bar, and to this vertical bar we added another horizontal bar. And then we attached the hanger and the button itself. In other words, we created rigidity for the base from below. We also installed a G-bar color 8017. Here we have the main button is from the wall right here, and we extended the button onto the base so it's flush with the wall. That way, this is what we get here. There will be a drip cap on top covering all of this. It's 190 millimeters. We did the same thing on this side. When we extended the base, made it symmetrical to this side, so the drip cap would be one piece. We had projects where we made a drip cap on one side, for example. It turned out to be 190, and on the other side, the drip cap was 100. And here we made a transition, but this time we made everything symmetrical so that the drip cap would be the same. Also here, I made the buttons, set everything up with all the measurements, and made the button spacing specifically for these panels. So we have 339 millimeters. This way, all the fasteners line up, with the profile. Even if we move this panel onto this profile, in any case, all the fasteners will line up. But that's only on this side. I did it this way because we won't have siding here. For the siding, we made the main button every 400 millimeters. Here we're already adding the crossbars. Horizontal ones, only at the joints we have the profile, and every other panel lands on the profile. Panel connection, and where it doesn't land we add crossbars, either horizontal or vertical. If you have the opportunity to always make a solid continuous batten without overcomplicating things, do it that way. You can highlight the base with a drip cap, and here there will be a drip edge. The drip edge will have a 50 millimeter shelf. Basically, our drip edges are always standard, mostly, so we separate the base with the drip edge. Next, above that, the siding continues, or will you have something else there? If you can run the solid lathing all the way down to the bottom. Then there's no need to build something like this. To make a protruding plinth on purpose, so that the foundation sticks out, you shouldn't do that. It's just extra materials. It's really kindergarten stuff. So we make the sheathing solid all the way down, and we separate the plinth with a drip edge. everything will be just as it should be. You can use this trick only if, for example, your foundation sticks out, meaning you can't make a solid sheathing all the way down, so the sheathing on the foundation will be separate. Let me show you a couple of things. How to measure the panel, cut it, and install it. We've already installed this panel. We took a tape measure and wrote down the measurement. Here we have a size of 510. So the panel turns out to be, the width of the panel is about 700 millimeters. We take it from this panel and mark 700 millimeters. We made a mark here on the profile. Now we take it and insert it. We take our tape measure and check the size. In this case, we get 480. Write it down. Write down the size, 480. 510 minus 480. So we have 30 left. So we have a slope of 30 millimeters. On the right edge, it's 510, and here we made it 480 millimeters. We take some kind of ruler, a straight stick or a level, and place it. Let's go. We draw from Chatilla, we take our grinder. Let's go. Now we take it as it's installed. Put it in place. We also leave a small gap because it's autumn now. We're making a temperature seam. First we fit the panel tightly, and then about to 1/8 inch we make the gap bigger. If the panels are very dark, we prefer to make a millimeter, 3 millimeters. We screw it in. It's a technical hole, you could say. Here are ours. Heating, yeah. You also need to see these mounts so that the panel doesn't bulge, meaning the panel is tall. If you don't secure this spot, it can bulge out in the sun. There you go, great. Already from below. Basically, you don't have to secure it, but we'll secure it anyway. There you go. That's it. Also, guys, I've seen in many places where there's a steep slope, people don't install the panels evenly. They install them like this, meaning they follow the slope when they set them up. Whether it's like this or like that, you shouldn't do it that way. You need to install the panel exactly level so that the top is even and the bottom gets trimmed. In other words, you don't need to make a mess out of the slope. I've already finished the eaves on the roof with a board. Now I'm going to start installing the soffits. Here I made a stylish transition, really trendy, with a little veranda, so everything looks nice and unbearably cute. So on the veranda we installed battens made of planed boards. Basically there's a planed bar here. We've already made the battens on the veranda, on the ceiling. Also, everything here has already been leveled out. All the floors have been fixed. Later we'll cover it with soffits here. Neatly and carefully, the battens are high quality and even. They've already brought us the slopes here. Everything is wrapped in film. The first time I saw metal television cutters was in my childhood. Well, this is our technology. Well, the components are ours, yes. So instead of plastic, we use metal. And I came up with the technology 3 years ago. People said a metal petric was impossible when I suggested it. but I insisted we would have it. I came up with the technology for installing a metal frame on the bars and I posted it on YouTube. And finally we install the G-strip. We install it under the drip edge. We install it along the edge. We install it along the edge and clamp it. I've already installed 2 rows of panels. This siding is called mitten. We're installing it without a joining strip. The customer didn't want to use that strip because it ruins the whole look. We're making the joints in such a way that, for example, when you enter from the gate, you can't see the joints. So all our joints face toward the fence. We keep a gap of 15-4/5 of an inch so you can fit a finger in there. Well, of course, it depends on whose finger it is. Also, the installation of this siding is done in a staggered pattern. That is, first for the bottom row, we started with a full panel. We finished with the piece, then we take the measurement of that piece and transfer it to the other side, to the left side. Here we have a panel of the same size. We start installing it with a piece and then a whole one. And the whole one ends. The panels got splattered by the rain, so we'll need to wash them. Alright guys, now I'll show you how to properly install siding. Here we have this little tab. It's kind of springy, so we take a self-tapping screw. We screw it in and press this tab down a little bit. So what happens is the screw kind of holds it down and our siding doesn't rattle. If we have a big gap, then it's unlikely that our siding will rattle. Here, we don't screw in the self-tapping screw. We screw it in by the corner where our profile is installed. So we have rigidity here anyway, since the panel goes into the corner. Also, all our corners are metal, so it's not necessary to add a vertical profile under the metal corner. We just make these kinds of brackets. I have a video, and attach the metal corner itself to these brackets. Also, our facade is made using this technology. I came up with this technology and posted it on YouTube 3 years ago. This technology consists of bars, insulation, membrane, hangers, and battens. There is also another technology for installing insulation on hangers, meaning first the hangers are attached to the main beam of the house, then the insulation is fastened. That's the technology I used, and I don't like it. There are a lot of nuances. I also came up with another method, mounting a metal profile onto a 50 by 50 bar first. We install the 50 by 50 bar, then we put in the insulation, cover everything with a membrane, and then attach the hangers through the membrane to the wooden bar that's here. So the wooden bar is the base. Check out my channel. I have my very first video there where I showed this method. If your house is insulated and plastered, you won't be able to do it this way because moisture will get into the house through the plaster and insulation. The advantage of facade panels is that they don't absorb moisture. You can wash them and they repel water. Let me show you a little tour of the house itself. What kind of work have we done here? All the finishing here is metal. The window slopes are all made of metal. All the L-shaped pieces, the strips where the gutter is, that's all metal too. The outside corners are also metal. Also the drip cap on the plinth is metal. At the bottom we have a G-profile installed as well. Here we finished the veranda, did all the slopes completely, covered the entire ceiling and leveled all the beams on the veranda. So this is extra work that was done, as well as additional work on top of that. We reattached and secured all the end strips, also installed all the soffits, put up the gutters and installed the pipes. The customer already had all of this here. The hooks were already hanging, they were installed before us. We made the overlap so that the seams wouldn't be visible. The customer wanted it without the H profile. Here. Install the siding. It looks better this way and I mostly prefer it like this, though there are a few small nuances. That is maybe in the summer. These joints, they might open up a little bit, like a small gap will appear, but then they'll go back to normal. We have such nice, elegant windows. And as usual, we have minimal gaps. Here we installed the exhaust hood, finished the windows over there, and everything is finished on this side as well. Here we have these kinds of pipes. Apparently they've been here for a long time. There are some scratches on them, all sorts of small ones. We didn't have enough here. We have 2 elbows, but we'll need to add 2 more elbows here and lower the pipe down to the G profile. The wire has been brought out there. And here basically I'm showing you the soffit. Here is the plinth. It turned out a bit higher because we have a slope here from the ground, so there are screw piles here and metal angles. We left the film on one of the drip caps at the entrance to avoid getting it dirty. Later, the clients themselves will remove the film from that drip cap here when they make their own steps. This drip cap, we cut the slope, and the drip cap itself is 190 millimeters. I measured 170 millimeters on both sides for the angle. So we got this slope and a sharp corner. We also cut this drip cap and connected it with a small drip cap. So we have the wide drip cap connected to the narrow one, and it creates a nice flat surface. I also wanted to mention that if you're watching me on YouTube, Instagram, VKontakte or any other social networks, you can place installation orders. I want to let you know that in 2020, I am no longer accepting installation orders. I will accept installation orders somewhere around June or July, since the spring season is already fully booked. I'm filming, doing a house tour. And you, where are you going? Home says something about us.
Well done, you worked well.
Look over here.
I don't know how to look at the camera. Well done, you worked well. The house is beautiful. Yes.
Yes, that's all. No,
Well, what can I say? Well done. What else can I say?
I'm a grad student, so I'll say something.
Me? Well done.
Well, what about us? We're regular guys.
We're just good guys. Call us and we'll handle everything for you.
We'll do a good job. No, well, I probably shouldn't have said that. All right, well,
Well, I'm walking now and looking at how beautiful it is.
it's breathtaking. I also cleaned the windowsill for you.
I wanted to say yes, it's so clean.
Clean, you say? Good job.